Hello, I'm Jashikins, and welcome to another episode of Jash Reads. Today, we will continue to read Megamorph's #1, The Andalite's Gift. Now, in case you haven't watched the other videos, I'm wondering why there wasn't any Jash Reads on Monday. Okay, very quick into the story. So, I'm now doing that's Star Wars Game of Thrones episode reviews on Monday. And, I watch the episode, then I write a script, then I edit the script, and then it comes out on Monday. And I was thinking I was going to be able to do the watching, writing, and editing all in one night, all in one goddamn night. And I would be able to do all of that and also practice for dramatic reading on Monday, because I was figuring getting one dramatic reading out Monday, and that surprisingly that did not work out. I got so busy, and so my current plan now is to do practice for Monday's dramatic reading on Saturday, so Sunday can all be about Game of Thrones. So this is a long-winded way of saying I'm very sorry, but there will be one dramatic reading, one Jash Reads episode on Monday, this upcoming Monday. For all those who watching after I'm done with Megamorphs #1, will be very confused about this. But anyways, let's continue. And this next chapter will be narrated by the lovely Rachel. Dun, dun, dun. I spent hours just walking in the woods, walking and trying to remember. Who was I? What was I? I didn't know. My mind would not answer me. I remembered how to talk. I remembered I remembered what things were called. I knew that the sky was blue and the moon was white, and the ocean was deep, and that winter was colder than summer. I knew it. I knew all the background things of life. It was like watching a TV show where you could see all the sets. The characters were invisible. Of me, who I was and what I was, I knew nothing. Or not quite nothing. I knew that I was some sort of freak. I knew I could have the feathers and beak and legs of a bird. And I knew that I had some terrible enemy. The pine needles and fallen branches made walking painful. But what else could I do? Where was I supposed to go? Some terrible beast was hunting me. Who could I possibly trust? Answer me! I yelled at no one but the trees. Who am I? The sound of my own voice reminded me I had to be careful. The beast from the sky might be out there. Might still be looking for me. I walked, always hoping the clouds would lift from my memory. I knew I had amnesia. I remembered the word amnesia. But how had it happened that I could not remember? I stayed fairly close to the highway that sliced through the forest. I could see flashes of cars through the trees, a few hundred yards off to my right. But I stayed deep enough in the woods that no one from the road could see me. I could not afford to be seen, not until I knew what danger I was in. Then, amidst all the greens and browns of the forest, I saw something bright yellow. It was deeper in the woods, another few hundred yards deep. Crouched down low and walked on bent legs toward the splash of yellow. I moved as quietly as I could, placing each bare foot carefully. It was a shack. The yellow was a cotton rip top. From the Limited, probably. I froze. What? From the Limited? What did that mean? I squeezed my eyes shut and concentrated. Flash! A store. It was a store. Clothing, tables covered with folded tops and bright colors. I was there. I was there shopping with. I knew there was someone with me. I could feel the fact that someone was with me. And I couldn't see anymore. The memory fragment was only a brief snippet of time. It told me nothing. I looked again at the shack. It looked like it had been built a long time ago. It was made of logs, some of which were rotted out. Had I been here before? It felt familiar. This place, a place like it. But no, I was probably just imagining things. The yellow top was hanging on a clothesline. I walked left to see through the front doorway. It was open. There was no light inside the cabin. Should I? Could I take the risk? If you want to return the item, you'll need a receipt. A voice said. Ah! I yelled and spun around. A woman. Old? No, not so old. Just shabby. Wearing so many layers of clothing, she looked fat. But she wasn't. She was thin, dragging a bulging canvas bag. Not a threat. I forced myself to calm down. I tried to let the adrenaline flow out of me. My heart was pounding and my muscles were tensed. You'll need a receipt, the woman said again. She stared at me in a challenging way and held out her hand. What? I asked. Do you know me? If you want to return the item, you'll need a receipt, she said again. She said it precisely the way she had the first time. The identical inflection. She wasn't saying. I don't have a receipt, I said. She looked past me at something or nothing. Then she headed for the shack. I don't know why, but I followed her. She was mentally ill, but she didn't seem dangerous. And I wasn't exactly normal myself. I don't know what I expected to find inside the shack, but it was a shock. Clothing. Piles of it 3 feet high. In every corner, clothing. Much of it was dirty, filthy. Some was stained or burned. Some seemed fine. The madwoman ignored me completely. She opened her dirty canvas bag and began pulling out more items of clothing. Stained shirts, ripped jeans, one old sneaker. Excuse me? I said. Ma'am? If you want to return the item, you'll need a receipt. Can you tell me your name? She stopped sorting the clothing. She turned a sly grin toward me. My name, or its name. We are two, not one. Yes, yes, if you want to return the item, your name, please, I said. It's gone now, she said craftily. But it will be back. Oh, yes, they'll be back. They never go away forever. I guess normally I might have been frustrated. I might have even gotten annoyed. But I knew now that it was But I knew now what it was like to have your brain betray you. Who does all this clothing belong to? I asked. Mine! She shrieked suddenly. Mine! It's mine! Oh, okay, it's yours. I found it all. People throw it away. It's mine. Yes, it's yours. But I was wondering, I don't have any shoes. I thought maybe you could let me borrow a pair of shoes? Will that be cash, check, or credit card? I, I had an idea. Maybe it was stupid. Maybe it was even a little cruel. I bent down and picked up a chunk of pine bark from the floor. I held it out to the woman. A credit card. She took it. She looked at it in confusion. Then she looked up at me. There was something lost and desperate in her eyes. Is this the store? She asked. It's your store, I said. She forced a shaky smile. Let me know if I can help you find anything. I will, I said. I began digging through the nearest pile of clothing. Shoes were stuck here and there. I dug each one out, one by one, and set them in a pile on the floor. I needed a size 5. So far, I had mostly men's shoes. Are you one of them? The woman asked. Uh, uh, one of what, ma'am? I replied. The others, the ones who live in your head. I don't think so, I said. I was focused on my search. There's only one way to know for sure, she said in a soft, silky voice. Success! One size 6 Reebok and one size 5 Converse. They weren't exactly matched, but they wore better than being barefoot. I heard a creak of rusty hinges behind me. I turned to look. The old woman had opened a trap door in the floor of the shack. I started to rise from my crouch, holding the shoes. Oomph! Something hit me from behind. I tried to suck in a breath, but the blow had emptied my lungs. The woman was all over me, shoving, clawing, scratching, and screaming. Yerk! 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 I struggled to fend her off, but she was strong and driven by her insane vision. I fell down through the hole in the floor. Yerk! Yerk! I landed on dirt. I recovered quickly and leaped back up at the opening. The hatch slammed down on me. I ducked just in time. Yerk! 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 Flash! Gray, sludgy pool. An underground cavern. Something in the pool swimming. Many somethings. Sea things just beneath the surface of the pool like fish. No slugs. Gray slugs. Yerk! My head swam with the sudden vision. I couldn't focus on that. I had to get out. I pounded on the splintery wood of the hatch. Heidi, let me out of here. Let me out of here. I don't want to hurt you. No answer. I looked around. It wasn't a basement, just a space beneath the shack. Maybe long ago it had been some kind of way to escape. Or maybe it was a place to store food for the winter. but it had the feeling of great age. It was hard-packed dirt on 3 sides. The fourth side was a wall of vertical logs. I could see through the gaps in the logs, but I did not see a way out. Lady, let me out of here. I'm not going to hurt you. He spoke in a much quieter voice. No. You don't want to hurt me. You just want to crawl inside my head like you did before. Crawl inside my head. Make me give you my husband. Make me give him to you. My children, all for you, all for you. Controlling me in my head. But you died, didn't you, Yerk? I felt a terrible coldness. She was insane. And yet, why did her ravings mean something to me? That word, Yerk, it meant something evil. Was I crazy too? Was that the truth I was hiding from myself? And that's the end of that lovely chapter. Now, I saw like a meme a few days ago, or maybe a week ago. Memes have sometimes really short shelf lives. But anyways, it's like, oh, this character has their own fandom. That's sort of what this crazy lady's like. And this is one of the things that I've been waiting to be able to talk about on this, I guess, show. Yeah, it's I think it's maybe professional enough to be a show. This show, I'm sorry again. And because it amuses me. And okay, I'm going to go with first saying what's canonically true about this woman, and then I'm going to go on fan theory territory. And I believe this fan theory too so much that this is one of the fan theories I'm like, screw what everyone else says about what the creators say about what's canon. This is fucking canon to me. I create my own reality. I don't have too many fan theories like that, and when I do have fan theories that I believe that much, I always rein myself in and realize what's actually canon. So when I'm talking to other Phantomorphs, I can see from a more balanced point of view. But anyways, canonically, K. Applegate didn't have a backstory for this woman. On the former Animorphs website, where you could like submit questions for K. Applegate to answer, and some other stuff. It was like way back in the day. I used to never go online, but I remember probably nearly constantly going on that one. That was one of the few. And now I'm like online all the time. So if you know me now, you would not recognize me back then. But anyways, on that site, she did say that, yeah, no backstory planned for the woman, but I guess you could say it's me without my morning coffee. Yeah. And as I got older and I started drinking coffee, I can definitely understand. Yeah, but that's canonically. So canonically, remember, no backstory and a joke about her. So no backstory. But the fan theory is that you remember all the way back in the first book that the Animorphs didn't save anyone but one woman. And canonically, okay, I said I was going to fan theories. So I'm not going to say canonically anymore. So, anyways, they rescue one old woman. And throughout the rest of the series, we don't get, what actually happened to that woman. And some fans, including myself, like to believe that this crazy old woman, in this book is the same one as the first one, and this is we get sort of closure about what happens with, the woman they rescued in the first book. And I really like that because it does give some closure. And it sort of makes sense. I mean, she gets rescued. And I'm assuming a few are so broken that they just, snap. They could snap if given the freedom to do so. And that's a fan theory I really like to believe. I mean, I know it's canonical, but that fan theory, man, I fucking love that fan theory that this is actually the woman from the first book and we're finally meeting her again. Okay. And I do like that even though Rachel has amnesia, like that shopper side of hers is really strong. She's like, I can't remember what the store is, but I can just say the reference without really knowing what it is. She is a fucking shopaholic. So, please comment below and tell me what you thought about this chapter. Do you believe the whole fan theory about, not believe, but do you like the, oh god. This is why I'm better writing, because I can spend like an hour writing a sentence. But anyways, what did you think about this chapter? Do you like the fan theory that this crazy old woman is actually the woman that was rescued in the first book? Please comment down below. And remember, no spoilers. I am hoping beyond hope that people get into this Animorphs series via these videos. So, don't want any big spoilers, because there are some awesome twists and turns that this series makes that you should know they're coming when you're reading for the first time. So anyways, no major spoilers in the comments section, please. But if you do want to talk to me about spoilers and you are on YouTube, link in the description of my Tumblr Ask Box, and there you can spoil away. I've actually just completed my current Animorphs reread a few days ago, so yeah. Yeah, that's if you don't know, the ending is very bittersweet. And yeah, so yeah, if you want to help, if you want to go over to my Tumblr and help comfort me, please, please do. And if you're if you're a new fanmorph, if you just watch this video to sort of see what the Animorphs series is all about, and you're like, hey, this is sort of interesting, and you want to join the fandom, hi, I'm Jashykins. We don't have cookies here, but we have some pretty decent cinnamon buns. And if you also want to buy Megamorphs #1, The Andalite's Gift by K.A. Applegate for yourself, if you're watching on the YouTube, the link in the description. If you're watching on my blog, link down below, and both links will take you to where you can buy your very own copy of Megamorphs #1, The Andalite's Gift. And if you're watching this on the YouTubes, please like this video. And if you do like the crazy old lady, whether or not you believe she's the same woman from the end of book 1 or not. And subscribe to this YouTube channel, because guess what? I am going to be reading the entire Animorphs series. And if you don't want to miss out on any Animorphs content, please remember to subscribe. Okay. And if you're watching on my blog and watching on the desktop version of my blog, please choose the follow by email option, so you will never again miss out on another blog post. And I just don't do these Jash Reads episodes. I also do long posts, which take a lot more time. And I'm currently starting the next long post. I'm just barely finished with the outline part. And I really wish that when I had this great idea, someone or a group of people would say, Jash, don't do this. Don't do this. But yeah, I'm sort of an idiot there. So yay! And the next episode Jash reads will be in a few hours. So yay! And now we'll begin the, I guess you could say, sort of the after show, I guess. There we go. It's sort of where I go and slowly work on a graphic, so it gives you some excuse, not to go to the real world. Like, hey, this video's over, I have to go. If you just want to, if there's a hard chapter and you just need some time before you get into the real world, or you want an excuse to stay, here we go. So the next, as you see, I'm not working on a current graphic. Like, we're not coming back and going at a graphic. But I do want to do a graphic where it's Animorphs with a line from Game of Thrones saying, if you think this has a happy ending, you haven't been paying attention. And so, yeah. So that's what we'll be working on. And today will merely be background, and then I will let everyone be abandoned construction site. I'm going to try to do the background being like the construction site where the five of the Animorphs met Alfangor. I think that's good. So let's look what we have here. And tools. I just sort of got to learning about this. Labeled for reuse with modification. And I think this, goddamn, it's not like I'm going to be selling this. Damn. Okay, let's see. For non-commercial, but still, I'm doing this podcast thingy jig, so I'll be labeled for reuse with modification. Let's see what we got here. Wow. Okay, there's cars there, so it's, I need some broken buildings or something. Okay, I mean, I could do some other things to make it look more worn down. Okay, let's see. Oh, hey, looks in Florida though, and stocks. And while there are construction equipment there, this doesn't show enough of the building. Okay, this seems like this would be perfect if it was like in the middle of nowhere. Let's see. Okay, this is actually good here. This is good. I mean, except for that building in the background, but maybe we can do something about that later. Or fix that. Or maybe make it dark and so you don't really see that part. I mean, when I start doing a graphic, there are just, so many angles I could take. And sometimes I have a planned idea of what to do, and then it just all sort of goes haywire later. Like, hey, you want to do this, but fuck you. Hey. But it's fun at the same time. I guess that's sort of hard to describe if you haven't experienced the feelings of you start a project one way and then it goes another way. Okay. Right now it's stormy and it's getting dark early, so now I have to go by memory. you know. of what's, of where the keys are. So that's all I'm going to do. I'm making sure I save this. Oh, and if you don't know, haven't been following along with like my Twitter, I'm going to be getting my review out of the crazies next week. I was going to do it this week, but Wednesday was just hectic. I took the birds to check up visit on the vet that's over an hour away, and I'm not changing my vet because I really like that one. I explain it more in like the raised lineage video, actually. Okay. And I think that's enough of your time. And remember, next Jash Reads video will be in a few hours, so stay tuned for that and to see how the graphic goes. Yay! And until next video, goodbye.